guys, welcome back to another doll customization video. My name is Hannah or Lambency, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made Pearl from Steven Universe. I originally made Pearl back in 2017 and I uploaded a video, but it recently got taken down along with a bunch of other Steven Universe doll videos, so I decided I'm just going to remake them with their new outfits, and it's been a long time, so my doll customization skills have gotten better, so I really want to do them justice, and yeah. It was really fun to make her. This is my favorite outfit of Pearl's. I mean, look at that jacket. Yes. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well, and let's get on with the video. Here is my old Pearl doll that I made in 2017, and it was only the 5th doll I ever customized, and I actually like how I made her pants and top. I think this bow is really adorable. Her face and hair could definitely use some work though. Revamp time! She needed a new coat of paint, so I removed her old paint and then painted her body white. After it dried, I went over with this kind of ivory off-white color. I think I got her skin color more accurate this time. I decided to use a new doll head for this revamp since old Pearl's was falling apart and I had a spare Blondie Locks doll lying around. To prep the face, I sprayed it with Mr. Super Clear. To lighten the skin tone of the head, I went over it with several layers of white and light yellow soft pastels. I did this because the paint on the face was coming out really streaky, if that makes sense. It just looked bad. I hope to get an airbrush kit sometime soon, which should make changing the skin tones of dolls much easier. Anyway, for the face up, I used Faber-Castell watercolor pencils. I started out with light colors for the sketch and then darkened it after each spray of Mr. Super Clear. So the more dolls I do, the more I feel like I'm beginning to find my style, my art style when it comes to dolls, and I've had a few people be like, "Oh, I love your style," and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a style? That's so cool. I noticed I really like drawing large eyes with winged eyeliner and long lower lashes. Yeah, those are my favorite. So I don't really know what else to say during this part, so I guess I'll just ramble. How have you all been doing? I've been doing okay. I'm currently working on a Stevani revamp and a Lapis Lazuli revamp, and I do plan on making a ruby soon and also revamping garnet, which that's gonna be really hard because I'm going to try to make it as accurate to her body as possible. So I'm gonna be using a lot of clay, lots of sculpting. It's gonna be really really hard. And then I have to try and make clothes that fit that body. I first tried body modification with amethyst, which actually came out okay, but garnet's gonna be more difficult. I'll do my best. Once the face was all done, I went over the eyes and lips with gloss varnish to make them shiny. Now onto the hair. I used this peachy orange color of 100% acrylic yarn. I cut strands to the length that I wanted and then tied each strand onto a metal hoop. Once all the strands were tied on, I took a pep brush and started brushing it out until smooth. Then I took a flat iron and straightened the hair. I cut the hair off the hoop and set it aside, then I used tacky glue to make hair wefts. I squeezed out a line of glue onto plastic wrap and pressed the hair down with a palette knife. I put more glue on top to really coat it. Once the glue dried, I peeled off the hair wefts and cut the excess glue off the top. I glued the hair wefts directly onto the doll head using tacky glue once again. I wiped off any excess glue with a paper towel. I start from the bottom of the head and then make my way up to the hairline. Time to cut and style the hair. To shape the hair how I want it, I use hairspray and a tiny bit of fabric glue. The fabric glue lets me shape these little side pieces that curl up. Now time for the clothes. I'm using cotton fabric for the top and the jacket and knit fabric for the pants. The patterns I'm using are linked below in the description. I traced the top pattern onto the fabric and cut it out. This top has darts, so I folded along here and sewed along the lines. Then I pinned and sewed the back pieces to the sides of the front. Pearl's top has a little bit of a plunge, so I cut it accordingly. Then I hemmed the top of the shirt as well as one side of the back. I didn't hem the bottom of the shirt since I'm going to tuck it into the pants. For Pearl's pants, I cut out 2 pant pieces and sewed along this curve here. I cut out the waistband, folded it, and pinned and sewed it to the pants. I made the length of the waistband longer than the actual pattern piece since these are high-waisted. Then I folded the pants together and sewed along this other curve. I hemmed the bottom of the pants, then just pinned along here and sewed it. All done! Super easy top and pants. Now for the more complicated jacket. For this, I switched out the sleeve pattern piece that came with the jacket and instead used a puff sleeve pattern. Once again, I'll link it below. This jacket has several pieces. 1 jacket trim, 2 sleeves, 1 collar trim, 2 sleeve trims, 2 front jacket pieces, and 1 back jacket piece. First, I pinned the 2 jacket fronts to the back and sewed along here. To make the sleeves puffy, I sewed a basting stitch along the bottom of the sleeves and pulled the thread to make it ruffle. I pinned and sewed the sleeve trim over that, then folded the trim and sewed it down like this. Then I did another basting stitch at the top and made that ruffly too. Once it was nice and puffy, I sewed it onto the jacket. Next, I sewed on the collar trim. I put the jacket onto Pearl so I could make the adjustments. I hemmed the opening of the jacket and then marked where to cut it since it's a crop jacket. Lastly is the jacket trim, which I just sewed to the bottom. Now her shoes. This has 3 different pieces, 2 shoes, 2 inner soles, and 2 outer soles. I used craft foam for both the inner and outer soles. I hemmed the shoes with fabric glue and then hand stitched it together. Then I turned it right sides out and glued the fabric down to the inner sole. Then I just glued on the outer soles to hide the mess and they're done! All that's left is her pearl, which I made using epoxy sculpt. I shaped the clay and then once it hardened, painted over it with white and then a very light pink. I made it glossy using gloss varnish and finally hot glued it to her forehead. Pearl is all done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Here is a before and after picture so you can see the difference. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and yeah, thank you so much again for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!